Hi, I'm Dr. Almisha Campbell. This is Innovate Exchange, and we are coming to you live from the University of Kentucky in Lexington. Welcome to this edition of Innovate Exchange. My name is Almisha Campbell, and with me today is Serenity Wright of the University of Kentucky. Serenity, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about your title and the role that you play here at the University of Kentucky?
Absolutely. I currently serve as the Associate Director for Social Innovation here at UK. We are housed inside of UK Innovate, which is the research and economic development arm for the institution. So our focus is on activities, initiatives, and solutions for sustained social impact, social justice, and the common good.
Awesome. Can you tell me when this program started and, why did it get started here at University of Kentucky?
Yeah, so I love our journey, our birth story, if you will, because social innovation research, right? Research for sustainable communities, for people-centered communities is not new at any institution. What is new and what we are doing that is new, and we are officially 2 years old as a unit. We started in December of 21. But what is new is the solid infrastructure for support, right? We typically think about it as how do we make sure, as our primary mission, that we are reaching every faculty member, every staff member, every student, all of our community to make sure that they have access to the resource and the opportunity to take advantage of those resources. So while as a tech transfer office, we've always been here for those researchers, it's not always been accessible to them, and it hasn't always felt like an opportunity for them. So my job, my unit's purpose is to make sure that they feel like it is for them and that we are making sure that we're taking our resources to them.
Awesome. So tell me about when you got started. What is one of the first things that you had to do to start this program?
Make friends, right? I think connections are the most critical piece. Sometimes it feels hard. I field a lot of questions from others who are attempting to build a stronger social innovation base. And the first question tends to start with, well, how do I do that? How do I even, and you just start with one. Just find one. You just need one friend, one champion, and then leverage that relationship to help you make other connections. So we met with a lot of deans. We met with a lot of faculty in the beginning, and we still do it. We refer to them as road shows, where we still go out to faculty departments and meet with them and talk with them about their needs. We do office hours in different colleges just so we're available, right? It's about making sure that we're available for them when they need us. We've learned a lot along the way, right? I often tell people it's not always going to go well. We were run out of our first road show, right? But now that college is one of our strongest partners, right? Because it was about making sure that we were really listening and that we were meeting their needs and bringing them the opportunities and resources that they needed. So the way we do it is we just start with one and we make friends.
That's awesome, making friends, but also learning lessons along the way as you started this new program, as you're trying to get in colleges that are not typically focused on by the tech transfer office. What is one of the hardest lessons you learned as you started doing that?
My hardest lesson was actually on the commercialization side, right? As a social scientist myself, I often tell our researchers, we're trained, not only are we very well academically trained to give all of our solutions away, but we're naturally inclined to give it away, right? We got into this work because we want to make the world a better place. And so the hardest solution for me was shifting from let's give it all away to how do we make it sustainable, and being able to make that mental mindset shift from it's not about the money, it's about sustaining the research to effectuate the impact of what we're trying to do. That was really kind of our light bulb moment. In terms of how we talk about what we're doing, how we serve the people that we're meant to serve. And so that's been the hardest lesson, is making that shift from making sure everybody understands, educating, providing awareness around it's not about the money. It can be if you want it to be, but it's not about the money, right? It's about sustaining your research so that you can do more good in the world. We just want to help you do that.
Awesome. And so as you talk to them about these things and leveraging the resources that you have in the tech transfer office, what is one of the things that you would say a social scientist will now say, especially the ones you're working with, will now say about the role of tech transfer and innovation in this ecosystem?
I think it would be about the warm fuzzies, right? We often I talk about things as hugs and snacks, right? But I mean that very seriously, because it is truly about the partnership. We just want to be part of the journey. And I think my social scientist researchers would tell you that we are partners with them. We are there for them. We're part of their journey. They call me for all kinds of things that don't have anything to do with tech transfer. And that's how I know we've built trust. That's how I know there's mutual respect there in what we do. And so I think they would tell you that we are a respected and valued partner and friend in this journey.
And that's all we all want in this profession. We want to be respected, we want to be valued, but we also want to make sure that the people that we serve in our profession, that they feel a sense of belonging, that they belong in this field, that they belong in anything that we're doing, and the resources that they're. What are some of the resources that you currently have access to here at the University of Kentucky that support social innovation?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, because that's the first thing everybody says is, that's not for me, right? And that, I think having a standalone office is the greatest resource, right? Because I'm not an other, I'm an and social innovation is embedded in everything that we do. And so that means we are touching every resource that we have. So our on-campus accelerators, our pre-seed programs, our coaching, our data tracking, our impact metrics, our licensing and contracts team, our IP team, right? We are embedded in everything this office does, everything our tech transfer office does. But in addition to that, the University of Kentucky has a priority area that is focused on belonging and research that's dedicated to sustainable communities. So having the Unite RPA, the Unite Research Priority Area, as a strong focus of this research arm of the institution, I think really separates us because it speaks to the commitment of we are going to be about belonging. And it's not just the tagline at the bottom of our websites, right? We're proving that through our research priority areas. We're proving that with my unit inside of this office. We're proving that consistently across campus as we continue to build that infrastructure for supports for belonging.
Okay, so what are some of the metrics that you track in the social innovation space? I know in tech transfer, we want to make sure that we have the number of patents, the number of disclosures, and all that good stuff that we track. What are some things you track in social innovation?
Absolutely. So we do track all the same normal metrics, right? But we also track engagement points, right? How many times do I need to talk with or work with a researcher before they will disclose, right? Because I'm learning what they need to know from me in that process. We track any meetings or connections that we facilitate. We refer to them as facilitations. What are we doing to make and to serve our campus to make the connections? And what are the impacts of those facilitations? Because I'm learning what the ecosystem needs from us so that I can advocate for more resources, right? We keep track of as much as possible, but all of those are tracking metrics. What we're really working towards in our outreach or our facilitations is really the impact of that, because that's where we learn what our ecosystem needs in order to be thriving, right? And we need to be able to pulse with that ecosystem. So it's not just about the tracking metric, it's truly about the impact metric. What happened because of that facilitation? What happened because of that outreach? But again, we're really looking at that next step, the secondary or the tertiary impact, to understand what the ecosystem needs so that we're adjusting as an office to serve that need.
I think what you're doing is awesome here, and I know that nationally people are looking at what you're doing here as University of Kentucky as a standard of what they can implement at their different universities. But what would be something you would tell a researcher in the social scientist area who wants to get engaged in this? What would you say to them? What would be your pitch to someone who's never heard about it but want to get engaged?
Don't hinder your dreams. We're here to help you find your dream, right? Every researcher has a dream of, in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I hope my research does this. I hope I can change this. Don't hinder that by saying this resource is not for me. Let us be a catalyst. Let us help you amplify. Let us help elevate you towards that dream. That's all we're here to do. Your goals are our goals. Let us help you meet your dreams.
Awesome. I love that. Is there anything you would like to say before we close this session?
Like you said, I do think we, as a country, this is moving very quickly as an accepted and standard field inside of tech transfer. So I appreciate you giving us this space to share our story, and we're always open to support in any ways that we can help the ecosystem.
Thank you, Serenity. Thank you for being here today. And this has been another edition of Innovate Exchange.
At Jackson State University, we're not just focused on today. Our students are building tomorrow. The JSU Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is redefining education, a vanguard of technological innovation. This is what the future looks like. This is what tomorrow holds. Learn and teach, research, build and grow. Jackson State University. Become who you're meant to be.